Welcome everyone. This is the annual general meeting of the Upper West Side Coalition of Block Associations and Community Groups. I'm Steve Anderson. I've lived on West 81st Street since 1982, and the block association that I lead has the most cumbersome name, the Theodore Roosevelt Park Neighborhood Association. So that's a mouthful. And I have the opportunity of serving as the president of our Upper West Side Coalition. And I want to first welcome everyone and thank those who are here on our board and just ask them to throw up a hand so people can see who is on our board currently at the moment and in recognition of their efforts. So Liz DeVito is the leadership team of Manhattan 75, the West 75th Street Block Association. Liz has served as our treasurer and supervising our newsletter that she previously edited and done so much more. It's incredible. So thanks, Liz. Dale Brown is a vice president of organization and the president of the West 79th Street Block Association. Dale is going to basically be mute for the meeting because she has severe laryngitis, and I'm going to issue her report. And hearing her speak is not a good thing for her or for the listener. So we're going to spare her and us putting her through that until she comes back. Neil Burson is also a coalition vice president and co-president of the West 90s Neighborhood Association. Thanks, Neil. Aaron Berlinger is the coalition's deputy treasurer from the West 83rd Street Block Association, but he is in Europe. Lucky for him. I'm not sure if Gail or someone from West 83rd might pop in. They said they try to have a representative shop in and see us. Mark Jennings, are you on the call yet? Not yet. Mark is the executive director of Project Find, a most significant community organization providing so much for so many on the Upper West Side. Stacy Smith, are you here? The director of advocacy with the West Side Federation of Senior and Supportive Housing, what we call Wish Fish, as a nickname. I guess he's not a. Peter Galisano, president of Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Association. We just had their big Memorial Day event. I don't think he's popped on yet. Gary Pelton is the treasurer of the West 70th Neighborhood Association and on our board. And a special thanks to three people who are stepping down from our board. And if you look at the screen, it looks like they've stepped down already. Erica Atkins from the Bloomingdale School of Music. She's leaving Bloomingdale and starting her own consulting business. John LeBreton, who served as our secretary, is one of the leaders of the West Side campaign against hunger, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And Ellen Lee from the West 95th Street Block Association is stepping down, but we have a representative there today. So today you should have all received a copy of our newsletter. And it is a pretty impressive product. I do not see yet our newsletter editor, who I was going to introduce you to. And since she hasn't popped on, I'm not going to talk more and say no more nice things about her, so she won't hear that. But I will introduce you to someone else, and that's Joe Gentle, who is there. Joe, wave a hand if people see where you are. Joe has been working tirelessly on the content that we push out through all of our social media channels. Obviously, Instagram, Facebook, X, and our website that has been recently updated. That's the nature of what a website is, something that always has to get updated, I've learned. And Joe is on that case. And you will see, in fact, that we will turn around and put this meeting up on our YouTube channel, along with every other forum that we had. I will mention the last forum we had with arts, where we featured arts organizations on the Upper West Side. If you go on the YouTube channel, there's all transparency. You'll see there's 250 households have screened that. We sometimes have 300 or close to 400 households watching program. Those are some of the most engaged people on the Upper West Side who are choosing to do that. Our newsletter, which Grace will pop on, I'm sure, at some point, is reaching 800, just about 800 subscribed households. So that's a number. That's a powerful communications tool. And one of the benefits obviously for block associations is to share a little bit about what they're doing and sharing, but it's also for our nonprofit organizations that are providing so much for so many of us. It's an opportunity to inform more in the community about the activities going on throughout the Upper West Side that they just simply may not be aware of what's going on, whether it's cultural, educational, uh, civic engagement issues. It's all happening in the newsletter because of the input that is provided by you to put in that newsletter every other month. So um, we're at 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16 of us, 15, 16 of us. So West 70th Street Block Association, I saw Gary. West 71st Street, who's here from West 71st Street? Is there someone from West 71? I thought I saw West 71. No? Okay. Liz is here from Manhattan 75, 78th Street Museum Block is a member. Dale's here from West 79th Street. West 80s, I see Melissa Elstein from the West 80s Neighborhood Association is here. West 81st Street Block Association, that is Donald Press, who is here. West 83rd Street, I don't think they're here. Theodore Roosevelt Park Neighborhood Association, the most cumbersome name in block association world. That's my block association. We're here. So that's good. 202, 214 West 85th Street Block Association. There you are. Good to see you. Our most recent Block Association member, I wouldn't say hours, but maybe 72 hours ago, joined the West 87th Street Park Block Association. We welcome as our newest Block Association member. I will add that there are half a dozen block associations that have been calling and getting information and asking for us to assist them as they join. West 89th Street Park Block Association, West 90s. There's Neil. West 95th Street is here. Good to see you. Nonprofit community groups who are also a very, very big part of our organization. Aperture, the photography-focused nonprofit, is not here, but they are coming to Columbus Avenue and 78th Street. They are opening up in September. And yesterday they told me they will have a special preview event for all of us prior to their grand opening in September. And as soon as I know about that, I'll let everyone know. It's very cool to see all the things that Aperture does. Beautiful, incredible, highest end photography, museum, the stuff of museums. It's very impressive, and they're coming. So between the New York Historical and Museum of Natural History and Aperture and a few other groups, we've got quite a little hub going around this area. Bloomingdale School of Music. I saw who's there? I saw Noel there. Thank you, Noel. Broadway Mall Association. Those are the folks. Broadway Mall Association is on Broadway, in the middle of the block. All that greenery that is maintained now and the proper plantings and all that, they're there. The center at West Park is a new member this year. Obviously, they've moved facilities as they're battling to keep their location or move back to their location. They are a new member. Dorot is here, and there's Kay. Thanks, Kay. Goddard Riverside, Guillermo, we're glad to see you. Goddard Riverside is obviously a major player in the Upper West Side and a major player in helping us do some of the things that we want to do. JCC, Marlene Meyerson, JCC. Anyone from JCC? New York Historical. New York Historical has been a great revival. They're opening up their new wing in I think about a couple of weeks. Very exciting stuff going on there. New York Society for Ethical Culture is a member. Project Find. I don't see. Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Association. Symphony Space. There's Kristen. Uptown Film Center. I don't know if many of you know, they've successfully purchased the former Metro Theater. They've got a lot of work to do, a lot of money to get to be able to fix that up. But in between, they have already launched programming all across the Upper West Side. Very film oriented, wonderful, wonderful effort. And we're going to be invited to lots of things there. Valley Restoration. I don't know that he's here. West Side Campaign Against Hunger. West Side Campaign Against Hunger. We'll talk about that later. And the West Side Federation for Senior and Supportive Housing. So at our annual meeting, for the bylaws, we are holding an election for the board that manages our organization. My awesome neighbor who leads the West 81st Street Block Association, just on the other side of Columbus Avenue, and he got the name. So that's why my block is so is the person who you've been in touch with, Donald Press, who has been dealing with the nominations. He's sort of like our chief parliamentarian also for all the things that we're supposed to be following the rules. And Donald is coordinated this nominations and the formality that we do this properly. So, Donald, your time to address this particular issue. I do want to mention we are waiting for a guest to join us. The Manhattan Borough President, Brad Hoylman Siegel, is going to pop on and greet us and say a few words. Brad is between 11 meetings and squeezing us in, but he said he wanted to pop on and say hello and offer a few words. So when he pops on, jump in and let him talk to us. We'll let him go. A couple of weeks from now, he and our new state senator, Eric Botcher, are going to have a forum with us and answer questions from our community. So Eric Botcher is now the state senator who replaced Brad as the state senator, and Brad is now the new Manhattan Borough president. So we will get to them. So now, Donald, it's to you, please.
Sure. I represent nominations, and the purpose was essentially to approve a new board of directors for 2026. Invitations went out to the 29 members that make up the organization of the Upper West Side Coalition. We had 14 volunteers. Uh, Understood that up to 15 are currently allowed by our bylaws. Our policy has always been an inclusive one, where other organizations represent a large number of employees and clientele. We essentially are representatives of organization, a relatively small band, and the more on the board of directors, the better. Um, the names of those 14 were then sent to the 29 members for approval. The votes were returned to the number of 23 of the 29, and all 14 were approved by a majority vote, thus forming essentially the slate that we'll be dealing with now. I'm going to read the 14 names that you already will be familiar with as having voted for them. Steve Anderson of the Theodore Roosevelt Park Neighborhood Association, Dale Brown of the West 79th Street Block Association, Liz DeVito of the Manhattan 75th West 75th Street Park to Park, Neil Burson, West 90s, Aaron Bellinger, West 83rd Street, Gary Pelton, West 70th Street, Malika Ammon, West 85th Street, Mark Jennings, Project Find, Peter Gelasiano, Soldiers and Sailors, Eustacia Smith, the West Side Federation of Senior Supportive Housing, Julia Kester-Haller of Darot, Ian Olson, Broadway Mall Associations, Kristen Cook, Symphony Space, and Noel Barbera, I hope I've got the pronunciation right, of Bloomingdale School of Music. Um, we now will essentially vote and approve the 14 that make up the slate. I hereby nominate that slate. Do I have a second?
Second,
Can we please have an approval of aye or a raised hand?
I,
Good. And I hold proxies for those that are not here today to essentially make up a quorum and to make up the majority that is required at the annual general meeting. Therefore, the full slate of 14 members are hereby approved. Following on this annual general meeting, those 14 will meet under the leadership of essentially the chairman, Steve Anderson, to amongst themselves select the officers that will actually lead and control the board. Steve, my job is done.
It's a beautiful, beautiful demonstration of democracy in action on a block by block level. And there were no hanging chads or anything like that that you had to report. So thanks everybody for stepping up, and thanks for Donald. There's very little that we do formally. In fact, we bristle at most of the formality, most of us, but there's a few things that did seem important, and that's why we're appreciative, Donald, that you were able to do that. Mary and Jeanette, it's okay for you to turn your cameras on so we could see you if you'd like to. I can't unmute you. Um, I can ask you to unmute. Let's see if that does
Uh,
any.
Steve, we're
Yeah.
not presentable. We are not in the city. We've just had a swim.
We're pro swim. Our requirements for presentation are very low. Our standards are dastardly low, I must tell you. In Okay, it's up to you. I don't mean to pressure you. I just wanted to make sure you understood that we'd be happy to see you on the screen, but that's okay. Okay, while we wait for the borough president, just some quick things here. Programming and membership, so people know. We held a workshop recently at Goddard.
Hey, I'll
And
send him another note that says we're together.
I'm going to mute you. We held this workshop at Goddard. We almost filled the main room there. And it was done in association with Council Member Gail Brewer, and we called it Block Associations Are Back. And we had more than 50 people who wanted to know more about block associations and did not have a block association. So I think we proved the fact that block associations are indeed back because now they want information on how do they form their block association, who can they talk to, etc. So we're going to now provide them follow-up information. We have, I think, a list of 89 people either signed in or registered to attend, and we're working through the council member's office to reach out to them. So that's a very, very good indication, I thought. As I mentioned earlier, there are already half a dozen that were in touch with us. So there is clearly something happening here, as the song goes. Um, and each month now, we leaders of block associations may attend a meeting with the community board leadership. The community board chair, Alex Bell, has been very, very welcoming in hearing from community boards. And we talk with them about issues that we want the community board to engage on, things that we want assistance on or information. Community boards are usually useful tools in reaching city government agencies, which are often tough for block association people to get the right people. So that's one of the areas where they can call, and they have a staff at the community board, a small staff now. It's going to be up to 3 staffers. So that's a very good sign of where we're at. So as I mentioned a moment ago, on Thursday, June 11th, you'll get a notice about that. At 6 o'clock, we're going to have a forum where Senator Bottcher first for half an hour, and then our Manhattan Borough President will answer questions, and we'll open that up through YouTube to anyone in our community who has a question. They can submit a question. We can never get that many questions in, but we can try to do that. So you'll get something about that. Very briefly, we feel it's a responsible thing to let Liz DeVito, who is our treasurer, give a brief update on where we are fiscally so that you know we're actually doing the right thing. Liz, what you got?
Okay, thank you. It's really nice to see everybody, familiar and unfamiliar faces alike. So I will keep this short because the news is pretty good. But for those of you who are new to this annual meeting, I'll just give a brief overview. We operate on a budget of between $5,000 and $6,000 a year. Our income is mainly from membership dues, and sometimes we get donations. Steve is vigilant about tracking down organizations that are filming on the Upper West Side, and we sometimes pester them to give us a contribution, and we succeed sometimes. We also get income from grants. We haven't applied for any grants this year yet, but anyway, that is another source of income. And then the other is from Clearview Festivals, the street fair company. So those are our main sources of income. And for our expenses, are largely fall under 2 categories. I call them social media and community events. So social media is software and services, community events are street fairs, as I mentioned. So we are on target. Our balance sheet is in good shape for the mid-year point. We have projected expenses of just about $5,000 a year. So we kind of operate on a zero-sum basis. And currently our bank account is at 4,500. So we're in good shape, Steve. We get that Clearview donation and we'll be in very good shape. So we currently have, Steve went through all of our members, but we currently have 14 block and neighborhood association members. Now that includes our new West 87th Street member and 16 nonprofit community groups. And we'll be looking to increase membership in both categories over the rest of this year. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody want to give us money?
We
No,
take
thank
we
you.
take
Yeah,
Zelle. We take
yeah,
Zelle. It's
we
very easy
do.
to get. It's very easy to get to us.
Okay, well, if anybody has questions, you can direct them to me and Steve. Melissa, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Great to be here. Just a quick question. I'm curious, running a block association, I know what like my expenses are. I'm curious what the coalition's expenses are since it's a $5,000 budget.
Yeah. Well, as I group them into two large categories. One is social media and the other is community events. Community events is pretty obvious. When we rent tables and chairs for the street fairs, there's that expense. And we do the street fairs that are operated by Clearview Festivals. Those are the big ones that go up an avenue. But we also do a table at the West Side Campaign Against Hunger's Rock the Block, which is coming up. And I think there's one other. I can't think of it right now. The
Ethical
soldiers and
culture.
yeah, and the soldiers and sailors memorial community Memorial Day ceremony. That's another thing we engage in. Now, on the software and services side, we have professional services provided by Joe Gentle, who's here. He is like in charge of our social media. And then Grace Azcona is our newsletter editor as of this year, and she's doing a fantastic job. And then there are the subscription fees for software. So we subscribe to MailChimp, and our domain is through Squarespace, which is part of Google. And then the other big expenses are directors and officers liability insurance. So that's probably more detail than you want, but that's where we are.
No, that was good, Liz. That
Okay.
was good
Very
Sure.
helpful.
to
Thank
share.
you.
That's
Oh,
where
you're
we're
most
at.
welcome.
That's
Okay, I'm gonna
that's
go
that.
on mute again. Okay.
So I'm gonna just say a little bit about street fairs, which Dale Brown is the coordinator of. But as I've explained, Dale's voice is not happening. So I am sharing what I think Dale would share with you. Street fairs are wonderful experiences. You get to talk to your neighbors. You meet people. You find people who really want to engage and really care about the community in remarkable, inspiring ways. Now, I know most people want to eat funnel cakes or, corn on the cob, and that's all fun and all that. But it turns out there's a lot of people just sort of open to having a discussion. So we found them to be very good resources to meet people, engage with people who join us, or at least get our newsletter, and who spread the word about what is going on. Um, June 7th, the West Side Campaign Against Hunger, they have an annual event called Rock the Block. And that is really where they do some work to try to create food boxes that are then distributed to people who are their clients. And the West Side Campaign Against Hunger is a very powerful organization serving many, many people with food and with dignity and with respect for people who are clearly challenged with food and have food is an opportunity for them to come. They provide an opportunity for people to come and go shopping, in effect, just like some of us are so fortunate to be able to do with the money we have, and they're able to get food. And it's a wonderful group, and they have this annual event which is June 7th, Rock the Block, noon to 4 p.m. It's only 4 hours, 86th Street, West End of Riverside, and we have been given a table there. They're a member of our organization, and we've been given a table there. So June 7th, you might want to stop by and come see me. In fact, you might have come be with me from noon to 4 p.m. So think about that. The next one after that is June 14th, And this is sponsored by Goddard Riverside, also a coalition member. It's on Amsterdam from 79 to 86. We never know exactly where our table will be, but we'll be there. And we'll harass you a little bit by email to try to get you to join us because it would be really good if, when we have a fair in an area that's close to where your organization or your block association is, if you could participate and send one or two people to come join in, and you can talk about your organization also and the coalition, and you can talk about the work of your block association as an example of a block association. So then there's a July, it's too hot. It's a July, it's too hot to do street fairs, a hiatus, and then we'll come back in August and we'll send you lots of emails trying to solicit your participation. So that is the update regarding street fairs. Um, I have it. I expect any moment the borough president will come on. Although most borough
Steve,
president,
Steve,
yeah,
could I just add one comment about the street fairs as well?
please,
Um,
Donald.
which is that one of the other advantages, quite beside actually the meet and greet and reaching out to people that might want to start block associations, is that many of the city officials themselves also take tables near us. So simply being seen and participating and being part of that echelon of city governance helps connect and it gives us a greater entree to them.
I think it's a good point. I think it's a very good point. Go ahead, Neil.
I'd like to give a short plug for an event that's happening on this Sunday at 9:30 a.m. at the 96th Street Subway Plaza. We are planting the plaza with the aid of parks and with the aid of Broadway malls. And come and join us, or at least say hello if you don't want to dig in the dirt.
That's a good thought.
Hi,
Um,
this is Kay with DeRote. I just had another comment about Clearview Street Fairs. I'm DeRote's outreach specialist, so that means I am in the community often doing outreach for the nonprofit I represent, which is the lovely DeRote. I attend about two street fairs a month as part of my duties, and exactly what Steve was saying, it's wonderful to get some face time, and they also have a very affordable nonprofit rate. And if you're not selling anything, then you would be marked as informational table, and that means your rate would be even lower. So nonprofit not selling anything equals really great business for a nonprofit who is making sure that they're spending correctly. And I have had the pleasure of tabling with Dale in the past. So if there's any questions on that, I'm happy to make myself available.
Thanks.
Great.
Thanks, Kate. That's great. So I want to switch to hopefully Mark will from Project Find will talk to us a little bit about housing. But I wanted to ask Kristen from Symphony Space to share with you some developments that are happening at Symphony Space, which is an incredible resource in our community and has been a place of great fun for a lot of us for many years. So, Kristen, just give us a bit about what's happening at Symphony Space and some of the things that people may not be aware of are happening.
Yeah, so nice to meet everyone. I know I've met Steve and Dale before, but it's nice to see everyone's face. Yeah, so we are actually nearing the end of our current season. That wraps up at the end of June, but if you visit our website, symphonyspace.org, you can see we still have quite a few events coming up. I think one I want to plug is actually a fundraising event. But it is with Sarah Bareilles, Meg Wolitzer, and Michael Arden. So kind of like that Broadway world. But they are working on a new adaptation of The Interstings, which is Meg's novel, if you're familiar with it. So this will be kind of an inside peek at how that new musical is going to come together. And there'll be a Q&A with the audience. Sarah Bareilles will be previewing some of her songs as well. So it's going to be a really exciting event. That's on June 9th. And we're getting close to selling out. So just thought I'd spread the word on that one. We also have a lot of screenings. I know films are really popular for our West Side residents. So those are coming up. We have one. I think now the date is escaping. Oh, it's June 4th. But it will be a preview screening of Les Liaisons Dangereuses, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And the director, Marion Elliott, who's a Tony Award winning director, will be there for a Q&A as well. So that's kind of an exciting opportunity to be in the room with her and see the screening as well. So yeah, I'd say visit our website. Definitely a lot going on until the end of June. And then, yeah, another big development, which we're very excited about. I don't know if anyone has read the news in the last month or so, but we are about to undergo a major renovation that will take place at the end of December. So we've pretty much marked the date that the building will be closed, which is, I think it's the 14th or 15th of December. Um, but our programming will continue. The building itself will be closed for about a year. That's what we're aiming for the renovation period. And the programming will take place across all 5 boroughs, including the Upper West Side. We'll be announcing those venues and the programming in the next month or so. And yeah, it's really exciting. What I'll do is I'll drop a link to the campaign website in the chat. Let me know if this works. Yeah, so you can take a look at some renderings we have there. We have a fly-through video. You can get a sense of what the building will look like. The building itself has been around since the early 1900s, and we've just been trying to keep up. Our programming has grown, our audiences have grown, and the building just isn't sustainable for what we want to do now and into the future. So that website will give you an idea of what the space will look like when we reopen in 2028. And that'll be our 50th anniversary year. So,
But
yeah,
to be clear, Kristen, you're going to continue cultural arts, entertainment programming in other venues during this
exactly.
year or two. Uh,
Yeah, we're calling it our pop-up season. So the programming will still be offering literature events, music events, comedy events, film events. All of that will still continue. It'll just be in various venues around the city. So that'll, of course, give us the opportunity to reach new audiences, and then bring them back to Symphony Space when we return in 2028. So yeah, it's really exciting. It's been a long time coming. And I'm also grateful to be here with all of you. So we could talk more as the renovation begins.
Great.
yeah, it's
And of
terrific.
course, we'll cover it in the newsletter.
Yes,
Yeah,
that of
absolutely.
course. That would be
Absolutely.
wonderful.
During the pandemic, it was pretty challenging for most of the organizations. It's challenging for all of us, but for the organizations to try to have programming. And one of the things Symphony Space did is really pivoted to a lot of online offerings,
Yeah.
which all sounds second nature today. But back in the day, when you know, the most common phrase was you have to unmute to people having these Zoom meetings. Okay, all of this was all pretty new to a lot of people. So Symphony Space has really done things. So I feel like I'm back in my live television days as I'm trying to talk in the Manhattan Borough President, Mark from Project Find, who's supposed to talk to us about housing and others. So while we wait for them, what we're going to do at the end is see if there's anyone who wanted to share something that their group was doing that they thought would be worthy of sharing with a larger audience. And remember, not only are we talking to ourselves tonight, but this will be distributed to other members and interested New Yorkers who want to hear what are we up to, because if nothing else, we're at least transparent in what's up here, and people will learn things. So, hey, Guillermo, I'm going to put you on the spot. Goddard Riverside, what you got?
Hi everybody. My name's Guillermo. I'm excited to be here. I'm from God of Riverside. I am the Director of Community Engagement and Partnership. Sounds fancy, but I'm just the social one of like God of Riverside. And what we're doing everything. We do a little bit of everything. We have so many cause areas that we touch with servicing seniors, servicing youth, servicing the homeless with the outreach team, and we have mental health programs as well. One of the things I want to highlight is I'm specifically stationed, I work with God of Riverside overall, but I'm stationed out of Lincoln Square, which is all the way in 65th Street. And at that neighborhood center has been very powerful movement to like we've been working with the community to develop a community council called A Square, where it's been really amazing to just enhance the community voice by bringing them together and just giving them accountability for just like what they want to see happening in their development, happening in their community, and just happening like how we work together. So that's something that we're really like excited to like kick off. We're in our recruitment stages, getting the word out, getting like, that encouragement and like not convincing because I don't think it's convincing, but just, showing everybody their strength in their voices. So that's something that God is currently working on, but overall we have so many different projects. If you pick my brain, I could pick one up specifically, but right now they're all just right here. But yes. Yes, Liz.
I have a question, Guillermo. Is Goddard Riverside going to be involved in the expansion of Lincoln Center? I mean, you're right there where it's happening.
So we're not directly involved. We've been included in like the planning. They've been including us with like especially community and like just making sure that their opinions
Yeah.
is and interests because this is affecting that whole like community. So the conversation has been very inclusive with us, with the community, with the partner surrounding, but we don't have a direct part of that.
Well, at least you're included in the conversation, so that's good.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you on a spot, Noel. I know that Erica is stepping down next month, I guess it is, as the executive director of Bloomingdale. I've told everyone that my son was a failure at Bloomingdale. Went through three or four instruments before he was relegated to the recorder. Okay, three blind mice over and over and over. So it's not that I have any bad feelings about that. I had to accept those things. But Erica's been great and given us an orientation to that perspective of what comes from a music school, a nonprofit music school. What's happening? You got something to share with us?
Absolutely. So, hello, everyone. I'm Noelle Barbera, and I'm the Director of Development and Communications at the school. And so I'm slipping in here now since Erica is leaving. And then I will represent the school for a while, and then potentially the new executive director will join us as well on the coalition. What's going on right now is very exciting. This weekend we have our Performathon, which is a yearly tradition. This is the 26th year of it, and it's our student-led fundraiser. And so the kids have been fundraising all month, and they're going to perform all day long on Saturday. They have a chance to win prizes. It's a open house day, so the whole community is invited. There will be food and arts and crafts, and like I said, student performances all day long. So it's a really, really fun event. You're all welcome to join us. I'll probably put a link inside the chat for that as well. Otherwise, we are wrapping up our spring semester. That just means a ton of student performances over the next month for various concerts, our ensembles, concerts, orchestras. We have our percussion festival, which will actually be taking place at the Manhattan School of Music. And even the festival, some of them are going to different churches on the Upper West Side. So we're also expanding our programming and taking it to different places here on the Upper West Side and extending uptown. And then we have our summer program, which begins in July and goes through Labor Day weekend with workshops and classes and lessons taking along, keeping people connected to music during the summer. And that's pretty much it for now. I could keep going, but let's just stick with the present.
No, no, no. That sounds good. Go ahead, Neil.
So first, I want to thank and congratulate Noel. The Bloomingdale School of Music provided the musical entertainment on last Monday for the Memorial Day Association event
Yes.
in tribute to the soldiers and sailors, our fallen heroes
Mhm.
and active duty personnel. And they did a great job. So thank you for that. Next, I wanted to talk about another upcoming event, again targeting the area at Broadway and 96th Street, but this time not on the south side of that intersection, but rather on the north side of the intersection. You all probably know that there's a small building there whose current inhabitants seem to be nothing at the moment but pigeons and rats. So we're determined to rehabilitate that structure. We're talking to Parks, who owns it. And lots of things are going on. So we plan on having an event in late July that will be a resource center event. The ultimate purpose of that building, we hope to convert into a community information center. So hopefully we can get all the politicians and agencies on board to get us to do there. So kind of a kickoff event for that will be this end of July, probably around the 31st, resource fair. That keep an eye out. We'll publish it, let you all know. Thank you.
So, I've been stood up many times by many people, and I'm not good about it, but I'm gonna process this after the meeting and go through. So, the editor of our newsletter, Grace, is doing a terrific job. Grace, if you were here, I would say more words about you. Brad Hoylman Siegel, our Manhattan Borough President. We got a lot of issues that we want you to take care of and work on, and we intend on being a partner and work with you. He's got a big volunteer program that is being started up, and he's investing a tremendous amount of budget in arts programming with his discretionary budget this year. Those in the arts community, I hope you are aware of that or should be aware of that. And Project Find is a terrific organization involved in housing. I was shocked to learn they're housing 750 people in their three facilities. And Mark is a leader in trying to provide dignified housing for people who are challenged in this area. But it's a tough job, and he will talk to us at some point about housing issues that I think are among those most prominent in the discussions on the Upper West Side for us personally and for our community. So there's no reason to wait for people who haven't shown up. I
Can I say
appreciate.
something more about Grace?
You're going to say more about Grace?
Because she's
Absolutely.
on my team at
I
Bloomingdale.
understand. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
She works
she's
part-time.
fantastic. Let me tell you that. She's
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic.
We've taken to her, quite
She's very good
well.
at what she does, and she also does the outreach stuff at the festivals, the Clearview Festival
Right.
as
Yeah.
well. And so a lot of what you said, Kay, made a lot of sense to me, just working with her on those things. But yes, she is really wonderful, talented young woman, and
Yes.
we're pleased to work with
Great.
her.
So,
Responsible, professional, wonderful.
so what my attitude has been, let's pay attention to what you can do. And you're the ones who showed up. And in fact, I think block associations and community engagement is on the upswing. And I think there's evidence of that all over. You see it in our community board, you see it in the engagement of block and neighborhood associations, and you see it in the way that nonprofits are collaborating with each other and with community groups in greater numbers. So it's very encouraging to me. I thank you all for the incredible support that you've provided. And there's work to be done. So we got off a little bit early. We had an election, and I'm glad to hear the tales from you. Dale will speak again, I am confident, and we will hear from her about many other issues. So, with nothing else official to do, and I've had an exchange of a few words with people. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good night.
Adjourn.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Steve.
Dave.
Bye,
Be well,
everybody.
everybody.
Okay.
Be well.
To be continued.
Okay. Bye bye.